All right, welcome to Let Freedom Ring.
Let it
Uh,
ring.
this week, my guest, the mayor of the mill, Leonard Bell.
The mayor of the
Le-
mill.
Leonard, welcome to the show. How you been?
Dan, thanks for having me, my friend. I've been doing great, man. I've been in the the stiff mode as far as, staying away from COVID and all the people out there. I went out and got a little Chinese food tonight, had a little gas, a little mask on my face and
Oh
I
yeah.
walk. Yeah, but I'm doing good, man. Trying to stay safe like everyone.
All right, awesome. Well, let's get to know you a little bit for the audience. Leonard, where are you from? Where did you grow up?
Oh man, I grew up in a small town called Pembroke, Kentucky. Small town, Pembroke, Kentucky, next to Fort Campbell Big Army Base, the home of the 101st. But I grew up there, man. I spent my first 19 years in a little small town in Kentucky.
Awesome. Now, obviously, and then you ended up in New Hampshire. How did that
Well,
happen?
well, that happened, I joined the Navy. Originally joined the Navy in '91, but in '94 I met the kid's mom, my ex-wife. She was from Alton Bay.
Oh,
And she was one of the first females that they brought into a squadron on the aircraft, and we were going on aircraft carrier, the White D. Eisenhower. So I was a personnel specialist. So I was the type of person to check people in physically, administrative wise. So, and I was checking her in, and being a guy, I had to check her out. So, so that's how I
well,
got to New Hampshire because of a woman.
awesome. And I thank you for your service, Leonard. As I've worn your pack for the Tough Ruck, I think a few times.
You have,
Uh,
yes,
yeah,
you have. In honor, man. Thank you, Dan, for doing that for us, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, you have, and it's been an honor to have served 20 years of my young life.
nice. And what's one thing everybody should know about Leonard?
Oh, man, I'm passionate about my family, man. I'm passionate about my kids, and that's probably the most passionate thing, they should know about me. I'm passionate about my family, my kids, my wife, and but also I love music, so you guys know that.
And you actually and you have is the band still playing? I know you guys did a few shows.
We're
Oh,
still a band. We just haven't, like everybody else, we out of commission right now due to COVID.
yep.
It's hard to rock the tunes when you confined to your own home. So
Yeah. No,
still a
very
band,
true.
still a
And I know
band.
and I know you're very proud of your kids. I think when I actually saw them, when they came into the mill one day, I said, he talks about you guys all the time. You know.
Yeah,
Um, so also, last question, sticking with the theme of the show, which is Let Freedom Ring.
yeah.
What does it mean to you to be an American?
Oh man, being proud and free. Understand that freedom is not free. That others gone to pave the way for us to have this great freedom that we do have, and also being a true patriot to me. And I don't try to demean others, but I do say those who have served our country, proud and free. Those who have gone to wear the uniform before, during, and after me. Um, and those who appreciate that flag, man, that stands for freedom, right? And they can't take it away. But people that truly embrace that flag outside of those who wore the uniform and really understand that we are United States, we are united people, and we're all equal. You know what I mean? So that flag stands for so much that we all are free underneath it. And but I'm very proud to be an American. I'm very proud to have served. I'm very proud to hang my flag outside every day. It means a lot, man. So asking me that question, it's a deep rooted one. So appreciate that, Dan.
All right, awesome. Well, that's going to move us into current events now.
Uh oh.
I always have to bring this up almost every guest that I've had in the last 2 months. I would love to have you in the studio. Obviously, that's not an option right now. I have been reaching out to them. They said, they don't really have a timeline or anything right now. Um, but how has your life changed during COVID-19?
I get more steps in, brother.
Yeah.
I'm getting 10,000 steps a day, man. It really hasn't changed a lot other than, I like the extra days being at home. People think I'm very social, Dan, but, I am very social, but I lack my privacy when I'm away from the meal.
Hmm.
I don't hang out much after that. I come home, enjoy my family, enjoy my garden. So I'm more of a family oriented person. So this COVID thing has really got me, right where I want to be, home most of the time, doing things I can do in the yard or just hanging out with the family.
All right, understandable. Hopefully, though, you know me, I love to talk. I think we both really love to talk, and I'm definitely having it's been a lot to get used to, for
Yeah, yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I got enough to keep me busy. I got a few kids, bro.
Yeah, that's true. What do you think of the protests going on across the country? Now, we've had
Idiot,
some in New Hampshire. Yeah,
idiots. I just think it's stupid. I mean, everybody has a freedom of speech, right? The right to do what they want to do. But if you look at the death toll, look at the numbers that's going up. What are we protesting?
yeah,
Until it happens to one of us, to somebody near and dear to us, we'll feel the effects of it. So, I'm all about being safe, right? Protecting others, not just myself, but I think people that are out there protesting, what are they protesting for? So things could open up so more people could be harmed just for the
essentially.
sake of money. I mean, and maybe I'm speaking because I'm more secure. I think I'm more secure because I am retired. You know what I mean? And we do work for a
Yeah,
good company, right? We work for a good organization. So, but I do, even when I was, I've been in hard times before and I understand what it's like to struggle. I mean, I was a refugee in my own country. So, but I don't think people out there protesting. I just think it's very stupid, idiotic right now, especially during this pandemic.
well, the thing I have a problem now, if I was out of work, I may understand it a little bit more. Um, but they're not even following guidelines when they go out to protest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you were doing a social distancing, right, and you also had a mask on your face or wearing, not even say gloves, but some protective gear, protest all you want.
Yeah.
But I'm like you, you're not even practicing social distancing. You're not even doing the things they asked us to do.
Well, a big problem that's happening too is the mask is becoming a political statement because in this, sometimes in this country, even in crisis, we have to fight about, very small things. Um, I don't understand that political statement. I don't think the mask is really a big deal when you're in public, but that is definitely becoming an issue.
Well, I read something, Dan, it talked about the mask. Why a lot of people can't wear the mask because of psychological reasons, right? Some people
Okay.
can't wear it. So it's been some psychological studies on why are so many people against wearing masks. And it's the
Okay.
phobia, right? The phobia. I mean, you and I, we're men, we not to say that's any kind of thing, but we're athletes too, right? So
Yep.
you put on a helmet at times, that's a mask, right? That covers your head and your face. So, but some people just feel like it's a phobia. So I think there's some study out there that's going on. I read something from a psychologist that talked about why people are afraid of wearing masks.
Well, that I can understand, but some of these other, you know, people, they just don't really have a reason, and it's trying to make a statement. Um, Speaking of statements, though, we did have a man in Michigan, as they've been protesting on the state house. A picture's gone viral of him, which kind of looked like he was yelling at the police. He's claiming that he was yelling what was going on past the police. Um, do you think that people are taking advantage of snapshots
Uh,
to kind of spin another agenda?
I do, and I think it's time for people to be quiet during this time period and do more of thinking about their neighbor, thinking about those ones that we've lost. It ain't time to be shouting out your uh, your thought processes to the crowd. Want people to be heard when you see things that people really need, right? And we have, man, it's just to me, it's not the right time to do all that. There's no right time to ever just shout out obscenities and things of that nature. But during this pandemic, people shouldn't be doing that unless it's for the reason to get equipment and things like that. PPE. I see if people were doing it then, but now if you just out there just lashing out, for what reason?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's and you know what, he's complaining that everybody spun the story. It's like, well, you put yourself out there, and a lot of people interpreted that picture the way it did. I know he can say all day that he wasn't yelling at the police officers, but it's what it looked like.
So if it
So
walks like a duck, acts like a duck, quacks like a duck, then guess what?
probably a duck.
Quack quack, quack quack, Dan.
Now, the other thing I just want to address, I keep getting a notification we have a poor connection. So hopefully this recording comes out. If it may freeze
Uh
during
oh.
times, I'm not sure, but I'm just keeping an eye on that. So hopefully there is no issues. I'm still getting used to the Skype thing. I'm telling you, there's nothing like being in the studio.
I
So
know it. I kind of wish we were there, man. I kind of missed my time. I was going to drive on
yeah.
down to the studio.
Well, I'll have you back regardless once I can
I,
get in there.
I love to come back. I love to come back.
So next thing that's been in the news, and I don't want to say his name wrong, but Ahmed Arbery was killed in Georgia while he was on a jog. African American, killed by a retired police officer and his son. The videos now come out. They said they, were in fear for their life, but it's not looking that way. The guy was on a jog and
Yeah.
was shot and killed.
Yeah.
They have not been arrested yet. They are working on a case. Even Joe Biden has come out and addressed this. What are your thoughts on that? And what are your thoughts in general? This seems to be a trend in our country with young African American males being shot down.
I would say to anyone else that's listening, flip the script. What if it was a black police officer and his son go out and shoot a white kid? Where would we be? I guarantee it wouldn't be like, this happened in February, right?
Yeah.
Black History Month, right? So this happened in February in a southern state. But look, what if we flip the script, right? And that'll answer the question, right? That son and father would have been found that within an hour or that same day.
Yeah.
So I don't get into it because here we are, 2020, right? I grew up in the racist South, man, and for me, ain't much change.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the rhetoric. The rhetoric is at the highest level. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not shocked. I don't. I mean, because like you said, we're seeing it happen way too often, and it's become. I don't want it to be said it's the normal, but it's happening more. I mean, you see this more often than what we should. But how much have we moved as a nation on this hate crime thing, right?
I think as a nation that we are so afraid to address racism. We're very afraid to do that because a lot of people are afraid to confront their own prejudice.
Yeah, I agree.
And it just, every time this happens, you have people on the left that are outraged, but then people on the right are like, well, look at Chicago.
There's no right? There's no buts and there's no
like it doesn't make any. It makes no sense.
People make excuses because they feel like some of that. I mean, it's that. Like my wife and I, we was like, how could my wife and we're a mixed couple and we talk about things like that. Like, how can people be so? Like, how could you do that? Take someone else's life and think it's okay? You get what I'm saying? No matter who you are, what color they are, where do you feel in your mind and your heart that you can take someone else's life and think that you can just get away with it?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it blows me away. Whether it just happened. Once again, it happened to be an African American kid. A young man and it's jogging in his own neighborhood.
That's just terrifying, to think, what's going through his, he left his house on a jog and now he's being shot.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable, man.
I see some prejudice in people that, that you sometimes go, I've seen, there's been stories. There was a story not too long ago where, an African-American male, again, killed in police custody. And someone's writing on Facebook, they didn't know the story. And they said, well, don't be disrespectful to the police. I didn't see anywhere in the article that it said that.
Nowhere. They assumed it. Once again,
so you're assuming that someone's disrespectful because of the color of their skin.
Yeah. Well, I was my daughter was doing a paper or a senior paper the other day, and I showed her some statistics of the incarceration rates have been targeted on men of color, especially African American males, right? And it's almost like 10-1. So it's that stigma that's out there. It's a broad stigma even within our law enforcement. But you can put a uniform on a racist, just like a Klansman can wear a suit. So it is what it is, man, and it's sad because people think they can hide behind that. And those of us that understand, that have that emotional intelligence, that can read people, that understand people, we can see straight through them. And it's unfortunate that they really have the problem, not the person that they're harming.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think it's just going to continue to be an issue until we actually, as human beings, will have real dialogue on racism and what the effects are, and because there's all different levels of it.
It is.
There's been African American kids that were shot because the cop was just afraid of them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that cop might not have been your typical racist, but he had a fear of a kid who was black.
I wonder how many. I'm gonna tell you this, Dan, because my sons are two African American boys. They're mixed, but they're considered African American.
Yep.
Um, and when that Trayvon Martin stuff went down, I really
Yeah.
had to tell them. They used to wear their hoodies all the time. That was just that generation of kids wearing hoodies. And I had to tell them, and right here in New Hampshire, guys, you got to curtail that a little bit. That's not wear your hoodies out because I don't want you guys to be mistaken. And I don't know if the white kids' parents or the Caucasian kids' parent are talking to them in that way because do they not have nothing to fear? And it's just a hoodie. I have on a hoodie right now.
Yep. Yep.
And it says Southern New Hampshire University. If I wore this out, right, what would people think, right?
They're gonna assume certain things
Right.
based on their own bias that they might not even be aware that they have.
So,
Which it's terrifying to think, but
it's like I said, Dan, how far have we moved?
I don't think very far. I mean, I think the country's progressed, but we always are just going to have that until we're willing to address things instead of just saying it's over, civil rights happened, racism's over. Until we get beyond that, we're just going to continue to see this.
We're going to continue to see it. I concur.
But that brings us to another issue in the country now.
All
that
right.
All of a sudden now we have murder hornets have come into the United States.
I don't know if they call them murder hornets. And murder is causing harm upon someone with the intent of causing harm.
Well, they do actually like destroy beehives. Like they're pretty vicious. I don't know how many are here, but what's your take? Any concern about the murder hornets?
Survival of the fittest, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure they sense COVID right now, so they trying to survive.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I haven't followed it as much because I think it's kind of like, I mean, I don't like hornets, period. So if I see it, I'm gonna kill it.
Yeah.
Hornet, period.
They're big. I mean, they
I know.
are like intimidatingly, hopefully they don't get to New Hampshire.
Well, hopefully if they come, I'm hoping the weather be nice and cold.
Yeah. But I saw a meme on Facebook that said, get back in your homes, and everybody and the people are like, no, and they go, all right, release the murder hornets. and they're just like murder hornets.
Oh my gosh, that's interesting, man. I haven't looked much on the murder hornets, man, but I'm not big into bees, hornets, anything that stings. I'm good on that. I got a lot of raid or fast acting, something that can kill them right away. So
yeah, I might have to borrow some just in case.
I got your back, man. I got your back.
Last current event, this video has been going around Facebook like wildfire. The Plandemic documentary released a clip. Talked to Dr. Judy Mokovitz, who has been discredited through most of her career for things that she's done. Have you had a chance to see this?
Hey, Dan, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Sometimes I don't try to watch a lot of media, television, because being in a service, I knew when I was deployed, certain things happen, and it gets back to home, and it's not the same thing that happened while we were on, in theater, right? So, but I did look at it. You and we chatted a little early, and I looked at it, Dan, and I was looking at it, and she had a straight face. But I'm curious because I consider the source, right? And it caused me to go back and look and research other people, right? Because people just don't come out of the blue and just be in leadership roles, right? So you got to dig up. So I can't pass any judgment on her right now. I can't even. I don't know why. I mean, maybe she's saying something making something come to light. I don't know, but it wants to cause me to go back and do more research, man. Because I can't always believe face value. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one video clip. I need to read her history. I mean, she talked about it a little bit, but I want to know what happened with these other, she named some people out there, and I'm like, whoa, these people are in the limelight of television today.
Yep.
And we know, we know that money drives a lot of conversation.
Yep.
And when you have a lot of money, money is it's the root of all evil, but it's also considered money has power,
Yeah.
and
No,
it can control conversations being had in what we see on television. Put it that way.
I honestly, I just wasn't. I watched the whole thing because I finally was like, you know what, I'm just gonna sit down and watch it. I wasn't impressed by anything I saw. It didn't really sway me on anything. It was very anti-vaccination, which I guess is part of her MO.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it didn't really change my attitude towards anything. Who are those doctors talking? You have us. You're interviewing doctors. You're not telling us who they are, where they came from. I've never heard of that filmmaker before. So
That's why I say you got to go back. For me, I wasn't sold on it either, but it
yeah,
wants me to. I always consider the source. Like I'm asking
right,
those questions. Who's the guy interviewing her? I want to
yep,
find out who that is. I want to find out who she is, and not what she was telling us, but I'm sure if she's that important, there's some history written on her, right? If she
yeah.
was this important person within the CDC, there should be more information. So yeah, she didn't sway me in any kind of way, but it does cause me to go back and read and listen to more about who's who and where they got to where they are. So
And maybe that's not a bad thing. I do feel like there has been a lot on the conservative side that has constantly been trying to discredit Dr. Fauci. I don't think Fauci or the other doctor there, Merck's, are perfect. They're what we have in this moment. But the constant just trying to discredit him. I mean, the guy had death threats. It's getting ridiculous. Like we have to be able to come together better than this and stop with these. I don't know, these conspiracy theories about Fauci. It's just a little bit much for me. I don't know.
well, there's always a conspiracy theory about someone that's trying to convey information to the public, right? And when people convey information to the public in a setting that he's doing it, it's not always going to be pleasing to every ear. So, and
Yes.
it's going to draw criticism. Those who have a loud microphone are heard the loudest, but they're also going to get the loudest criticism. So, um, think about it. And it's unfortunate that we still here we are, people getting death threats. It's freedom of speech, but people he's got a credibility of a background from far as I know. So that's what I say. I would do more research because I always got to consider the source, right? So I try to trust what's being said from a scientific today, not
Yep.
yesterday, but today. What's being said today. I trusted them when they all had to come back out and say, you can't inject disinfectants into your body. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that. So
Yeah.
you got to trust the science. You got to have common sense too. But those of us that's listening to what's being said, from a scientific standpoint, he said, just like I did believe him when he said, we can't put a timetable on this virus. The virus
No.
would dictate when we could, the virus dictates. He said this early on. The virus would dictate. That's a scientific answer.
Yeah.
That's a medical answer. The virus will dictate um, when we can pretty much be normal again.
Oh, 100%. And I think
So
I do think he's doing the best he can.
he
I like.
can. Nobody's
Yeah.
perfect.
I like that how you put that too. That when you have the loudest voice, you are going to have the most criticism. That's one of the truest statements I probably ever heard.
Yes, sir. Come on, man.
All right, that brings us into pop culture. Did you get to see the Tiger King at all? Did you see the documentary?
Oh
You heard
man,
about it?
I heard, man. I was like, man, my wife and I watched the first episode. I said, man, I got too much time to kill, not to kill on this crap, but
Yeah,
I
I
thought
loved
it
it.
was. I thought it was. I think people love that raw entertainment. I've seen
Yeah,
enough crazy people in the world, man. And to be honest with you, I don't need any more of that. But it is. I think the part of us like that part of us like
train wreck.
that train wreck in people's lives, man. But
Yeah,
it's like it makes me wonder the psyche of people. Like people are really messed up in the inside, man. They look for anything to grab some type of attention, and I think you know it to me, I don't know. I heard more about it than I even looked at. I looked at it, but it wasn't something that I would. Dan, I'm gonna be honest, it's something I wouldn't watch, man. I know a lot of people get into it, but I
yeah.
told my wife, man, I ain't got time to watch this crap.
Do you think Nicolas Cage is going to be able to pull off Joe Exotic?
I don't know. Possibly, he's an actor.
Yeah,
They'll
I mean
make it where he could, where he can.
I was hoping for Danny McBride, the guy who played Kenny Powers. Um, we'll see what Nick Cage can do. I think it's going to be
Hey,
interesting.
I like Nick, man.
Yeah, he's a good actor. Steve Carell has a new show. Were you ever into The Office at all? Did you ever see any of that?
My son loved that movie because he's an office type guy.
Yeah,
I never got into The Office, Dan. I watched a couple episodes. I think it's funny,
yeah.
but I would have to catch up on every episode. I can't jump in the middle, man. I got to start from the beginning.
Well, Spaceforce is going to be his new show on Netflix. I'm looking forward to it. I think it comes out at the end of May. Been waiting for Steve Carell to do a show again. He's probably one of my favorite comedic actors
He's
of
very
all
good.
time.
He's very good.
A movie I rewatched the other day. Have you seen The Shawshank Redemption at all?
I have. It's been a while since I watched it, but good movie though.
Yeah, I watched that the other day. I forgot how good it is and just how great. Not only Tim. Oh gosh, why can't I think of his name right now? Tim. The guy who played Andy Dufresne. I'm blanking on his name. He's a big time actor. But anyways, him and Morgan Freeman were just absolutely fantastic in that film. Like Morgan Freeman really was just, you're look it up because now
I'm looking up. I'm looking up the
now I'm
actor.
driving myself crazy with it. It's Tim. He married Susan Sarandon.
Who was it? Oh, you talking? No. Shawshank Redemption. Where is it?
Tim. Wow. Why is this? This is like hurting my brain.
Tim Robbins.
Oh my good. Yes. Yeah. All right. So him and Morgan Freeman just unbelievable in that movie. But yeah, I rewatched it the other day. I think anybody, if you have some downtime, it's a long movie, but it's definitely something worth sitting down and watching.
Hey, I watched Shaft. You know what I watched, man? Shaft 3, bro.
The news with Samuel.
Yeah, Samuel Jackson, his son, and his dad. Oh man,
okay,
that's good.
I saw the original. I saw both originals. The original Shaft, and then Samuel L. Jackson's Shaft.
Yeah, you got to watch this third one. It's good.
All right, I own the first one he did back in 2000, but I'll definitely give it a watch.
But I love Morgan Freeman is one of my favorite all time, though. I want to throw that in there.
I could listen to his voice on anything, any book. If he could just record them all, I'd probably.
Hey, do you remember him from Sesame Street?
Was he on Sesame Street at some point?
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman just has I don't think anybody's had a voice like that ever. He can just make anything sound good.
Yeah, he's good.
What are your all-time 5 favorite movies? Remember the Titans?
Yes, sir. Remember the Titans, baby. Remember the Titans, man. That's my all-time favorite. I gotta say some classics. But they wouldn't be my favorite. But Remember the Titans is the one that sticks out the most.
Love that movie.
Yeah. I don't have a top 5, man. If I want to watch a movie, it would be Remember the Titans.
All right.
Because it just resonates in so many ways, right? It was more than football, right? You know that. It was still stuff we wrestling with today.
That is probably I asked this question quite a bit, and that's probably, I want to say, the third time someone's mentioned Remember the Titans. I mean, that's a film you have to have in your collection.
It's a life lesson to be told in that movie, and not just one life lesson, many.
Yeah.
So to me, it was just growing up in the South, man. I don't know, it resonates more with me. There have been a lot of good movies out there. I love watching. I love action-packed movies. But the main thing, for me is Remember the Titans, man. That's one that sticks out. And there's so many other movies that I have watched. I don't. You know what I mean? You may have a top 5, right? I don't have a top 5. I have Remember the Titans, and everything else is probably in the same category.
No, that makes that's all right. I mean, I love that he's like, you make them remember forever the night they played the Titans.
Team? What team? No, man.
Because I'll pull everyone out.
How many feet in the mile, Petey? How many feet in the mile?
Oh my God,
man, that's my show, man.
Wrong
side, left side.
I actually saw that in theaters probably when I was in 9th grade. I remember.
Yeah.
And I don't remember even seeing a trailer for it when I went to see it. I didn't even know what we were going to see really. But a bunch of my friends, and they were like, well, Denzel Washington's in it. I said, all right, well, if Denzel's in it, it's got to be a great movie. And wow, that movie is probably, I think that's probably in a lot of people, at least sports people.
All-time
That's
favorite, yeah.
one of their all-time favorites.
Yeah,
So
there's other ones out there that I can name off that have been really, really great, that resonates, that impacts me in a level that can, give you the chills.
yep.
I like movies that move me, and that was Remember the Titans moved me in so many ways because it changed culture of people. It changed the mindset of people, and you got to see the character, what Martin Luther King talked about, judging people on the content of the character, not the color of their skin. And also it just, like Julius and, the two football players, the two leaders, one was white and one was black, right? Bertier
Yep.
and
Yeah.
those two guys and
I can't
Julius,
remember
right?
Julius
Julius.
I can't remember his last name. Yeah.
But they were like, I was only hating my brother, man. He was only
Yeah.
hating his brother, right? And it's like in the military, right? We don't see color, man. And because once you're in the trenches and once you're training with people, and when you're sleeping on ships and carriers, man, you in bunks with guys from all over, all races, all ethnicity, all backgrounds. You lose that, man. You just lose that. And that's one thing I loved about being in the service, Dan. It reminds me of so much of Remember the Titans and how it breaks down barriers, right? When you're a team, when you become a part of a team, you work together and you go through the trenches together, you go through the hard work, the labor, the same mental stress, the fatigue. You're doing it together and you come out stronger and you become brothers, man, sisters through it all. So yeah, that movie resonates with me.
I gotta admit, I remember getting a little, choked up when he shows up and meets Bertier's mother for the first time.
When that night he picks her up,
picks her right up, and she didn't know what to expect. But yeah, no.
Hey, it's funny because I had a story like that, man. My when I came to New Hampshire for the first time in 1994, and my kid's mom, I've never met any of her family. Of course, you come to New Hampshire, right? It ain't a lot of African Americans up here, right? The closest one I could see back in 94 was me looking in the mirror and I was looking at myself, right? So, but on the real though, and she told me about her grandmother, and guess what I did? I did kind of like the, Julius moment. Went up and gave her a kiss. And this is before Remember the Titans even came out, because how do you you kill all that evilness with love and laughter, right? And kindness, man. If you show kindness and respect towards one another, I don't think nobody's gonna be at harm, right? Because people judge us no matter who we are, Dan. You got a bald head sometimes. People judge you, think you Aryan Nation or something, right?
Yeah. They might,
but you never know. So there's always that there's stigmas out there. There's people out there that's it's ignorant, man, on their behalf. But
well, people gotta get it's hard for some people, like I said, like to get past their own bias or their own prejudice, and you're right. You can't judge people by the way that they look. You have to, like Dr. King had said, judge people by the content of their character. And that is a big part of what that movie is about.
Yeah, it's all about that. Heck yeah.
So
hold on. You asked me what's my top 5. What are yours?
Oh man, top 5. This has probably changed several times in the show, but I think I said one time my number one movie was Goodfellas. Goodfellas is in the top 5, but my all-time favorite movie is probably It's a Wonderful Life. Every Christmas I gotta watch that, and I love the fact that you're talking about, how your life impacts other people's lives, and essentially what that movie's about.
Yeah.
Goodfellas is definitely in there. Bull Durham is in there. That's probably my favorite baseball movie. And as we've talked about Denzel Washington, my favorite performance of Denzel Washington is Malcolm X. I thought that was
he was good in that.
He became him.
Yeah, he's been good in all. Yeah, he did. He's been in so many, man. That's a really good one. Yeah, that was a really good one.
Because you could compare, you could see how great an actor he was, because you could actually look at clips of Malcolm X and you'd be like, holy crap, he became him.
Yeah, he did. He became him. That was good. Yeah, that was real good.
I guess if I have to throw one more right now, you're right. This is tough. I'd probably throw in The Deer Hunter. We'll throw that in. This could change again.
Okay.
But the Deer Hunter.
That's
I never was going to give that movie a chance, and then I did, and was like, De Niro. I always just looked at De Niro as how good he was in The Godfather Part 2 and his other movies, but The Deer Hunter, unbelievable. Christopher Walken's on another level of crazy. the end of that movie.
Yeah, the Deer
You
Hunter was
know,
good. Yeah, see, and I
so
go in generations, I guess, because I can't throw in my second all-time favorite, The Sound of Music.
okay. I need to see that because I've never seen it, and I
Dude,
hear I don't know
that's
how I
awesome.
haven't.
It's awesome, man. You got to see it. Those of us, hey, if you guys listening, inform Dan about The Sound of Music.
Sarah Horns told me to see this movie, so I need to do
You
that.
got to see it, Dan, man. But you can't watch it alone, dude.
All right.
You got to watch it
Well,
with somebody, man.
all right. Well, if I ever start dating again, maybe then I'll.
There you go. Hey, show her that on the first date. Let's watch a movie.
So that's gonna bring us into sports, and you got a lot. I post this on the Facebook on Mondays. You got a bunch of sports questions.
Oh man, who are we talking about, man?
Anybody that knows you, Leonard, knows that you're a legitimate Cowboys fan. I don't know how you do it. I know that a lot of the footage of their Super Bowl wins are on VHS, but
Dan, don't go there.
that's neither here nor there. But the first question is from my friend Maura McCabe, who is a diehard Philadelphia Eagles fan. She wants to know, will we see Andy Dalton as the starter before the season ends?
Negative. Only if Dak gets hurt.
Okay.
Only if he gets hurt, and I guarantee he's not gonna get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen. I'd like to see Andy Dalton with a good coach to see what he really could do. But he was stuck with the Bengals, which is one of the worst organizations there is. But I think you're right. But they paid him a lot of money to be a backup. Was it $7 million or something like that?
You think they trying to get rid of? Think they trying to just push? I mean, they ain't gonna ever win with old guys, man. They need them young legs in there. That's who's winning. Look at the young legs. That's who's winning.
It's true.
Watch. Look who's going to the last few. Think about it. Outside of Brady, which we'll get to him later. But anyways, no, Andy will never start unless Dak gets hurt.
All right. Next question's from my brother Mike Bollier. You know Mike.
Mike.
Mike's been on the show before. How do you feel about Jerry Jones making CeeDee Lamb take number 88? Does this add pressure, or is this a stamp of approval?
Jerry, that's all you have to say. The idiot. Now, Jerry Jones, man.
I agree.
I put him and that guy in the White House in the same category. They make stupid decisions, stupid choices.
I think the best thing that could ever happen is him selling the Cowboys.
I agree with you on that. I'm not a Jerry fan.
All right. Next question coming from our friend Mike Hall. Another, it seems, Andy Dalton question.
Really,
he
Mike?
said, how does he feel about Red Rifle? I'm assuming that means Andy Dalton.
That's Andy. Yep, that's Andy.
Being signed to possibly start over Dak if he holds out. So maybe Dak has a contract thing going on here.
It is a contract thing, but to me, I don't think Dak should be demanding. Granted, I mean, he's got to prove himself, man. Winning a playoff game is not proving yourself, right? You got to win a Super Bowl. To me, if you're gonna hold out, what are you holding out for? You haven't done anything. I've been watching Dallas my whole life. You win a Super Bowl, and then you can demand whatever you want.
Fair enough.
If he loses his position because he's holding out, that's on him. But I don't think that right now Andy will start before him. But if it comes down to this money situation and all this craziness that happened behind doors that we don't see and don't hear, he wants to go somewhere else and get paid. They're not trying to play because of passion anymore. You see that? Who plays with passion?
Brady.
Who plays with passion? Brady and who else? That's it.
Mahomes, maybe I can think of off the top. I mean, he just
right.
I don't know.
He's a freak of nature. He's an athletic freak of nature, but he's passionate about what he does, right? But how many players are in it for just, I want to play football instead of making millions of dollars, right? I mean, it's hard to figure out. It's like the NBA. Who's going to go out and give 110 every night?
No, the NBA, that'd be impossible. It'd be absolutely impossible.
Hey, who's resting? How do you rest players? Now, I've never heard of rest in the 70s and the 80s. They never rested.
Yeah. No,
in the 90s, nobody rested. As an athlete, I didn't want to rest. You played, Dan. You're an athlete. You want to bring it every night. If you rested because you were hurt, not because if you physically still good, you should play every night.
Yeah. No, I mean,
that's a true athlete.
I agree. Maybe they don't make them like they used to anymore.
They soft, man. They cushions, bro. They like pillows.
But do you think though, if Dak left, I mean, someone would pay him. Some team would pay him
For what?
to be their quarterback. Quarterbacks are really hard to find in the NFL.
Man,
Dak's had
they coming out of
a little bit.
look, they coming out every year out of the college division. Every year they get a top quarterback, right? So
Yeah, but who have been Super Bowl winning quarterbacks in the last 20 years? It's been Brady. It's been Roethlisberger. It's been the Mannings.
Manning, Brady, Roethlisberger, right? And occasionally throw somebody else in the mix.
I think Flacco won one.
Right, just offshoot, right? Who did Carolina win
Russell
one?
Wilson won one. Yeah.
Yeah. The Panthers won one, right? Who was with the Panthers? Was Cam?
No, they didn't win that. They lost that Super Bowl. They lost to Manning. Manning was the quarterback for the Broncos.
Yep, you're right.
So
it's been Manning.
It is hard to find.
I don't know. He to me he hasn't proved himself yet. He's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback.
I agree. I think that's fair.
Just because he won the star, hey, Dallas Cowboys don't make him a great quarterback, bro.
They need to get rid of Jerry. You're not going to win anything till Jerry's gone. He's just cool.
Why are they saying LeBron is good? LeBron is one of the greatest, right? But he's not the greatest Laker, right? Because guess what? He ain't won a damn Laker championship yet.
No, he can't. No, he's only been there 2 seasons.
But I'm just saying, he'll never look to be one of the greatest Lakers, even though he'd be one of the greatest basketball players.
Yeah, no, he won't be. Though I think he will win them a championship, but
if they get Damian Lillard over there.
Yeah, and if they can have a season.
Well, that's all shot down for now, but. So
then we had another comment for the questions. We had AJ Combs just commented, I don't know what that wasn't really a question, but she just said, I don't know. And then we have a question from Ami Trombley. She goes, how many hugs does Leonard plan on giving out when everyone returns to the mill? I feel like it will be months to catch up. We don't usually hug it out. We just,
we dap it out, man.
Yeah.
We just dap it out, and we just bump elbows, and just you and I just sit and chat. We'll chat for 30 minutes, and like, what the hell? We gotta go back to work.
Yeah.
I think it probably take me about a couple hours to get through all those hugs, man. A couple hours. Yeah. Because I can, I keep moving it, keep it moving, man. Just give somebody a hug, keep going.
And that's why when I mean what I say Leonard is the mayor of the mill. There's no doubt about it.
I think even Paul even said that. Yeah. Like what? Oh my gosh.
I had a late entry question from my friend Benny Borg. He just wants to know, what do you think is the most underrated candy?
Jolly Ranchers.
Okay. My answer, because I eat them all the time, I love Nerds.
Nerds they underrated. Yeah. I like Nerds.
Yeah. Not a lot of people talk about that anymore. Are you happy that Brady's out of New England?
Aren't we all?
No. Not at all.
You guys get to feel like everybody else normal. What you guys
we don't know that yet. We don't know that yet.
Hey, you guys get to feel what everybody else in the country has been feeling for the last 18 years, a losing season.
Wait till Stidman is a stud.
Oh my God! Hey,
we'll see.
Y'all gonna be what the Dallas Cowboys been looking like for the last 17 years.
Oh God, don't say that. I'll have nightmares.
I'll host the next show, Dan, and ask you how you feel about the Patriots in about 10 months if there's a league.
Yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see. Now, what are some of your favorite sports moments? Now, I know you're a Cowboys fan. I know you're a Lakers fan. What are some of your favorite moments?
My favorite all-time basketball moment, and because it's my two sons watching them win a state championship when all the odds were against them. They were playing the major contender in the New Hampshire high school boys state tournament in 2015.
Okay.
And both of my sons, they played for Bishop Brady, and they were down and they won. If you never watched a high school epic ending, that was almost a miracle ending game. It was a miracle ending game. They were down. It was Bishop Brady versus Pembroke Academy, 2015.
And they won it together.
Both my sons won it together.
That's
my oldest son,
cool.
Look, they were down. My oldest son hit. You got to go back and look, man. The last 6 minutes, he hit 3 threes, and his brother got the last layup with like 2 seconds left on the clock. They stole an inbound pass. They were down. They stole an inbound pass. Half court. The big man catches at half court. He gets fouled. They don't even blow a whistle. He throws the outlet to my son. My youngest son, goes and lays the ball in the basket. 2 seconds left. The ball comes out of goes in the basket, swishes. They try to get the pass and throw it all the way down court. Nothing.
Oh, wow.
Nothing.
Now one of them also holds a record, right, at Colby Sawyer?
Yep. Jordan owes all-time steals. He's seventh all-time scoring. He's like 8th all-time field goals and 9th all-time three-pointers.
Nice. Now, did they put something in the gym for that at Colby Sawyer?
Yeah. Well, he's on 1,000 point. He's on 1,000 point. In sophomore year, he was 16th in the nation, Division III basketball, in Division III scoring.
Oh, wow.
So his sophomore year was his best year. He was nasty, man. And so every other year after that, they would double teaming him. And when you double teaming in college basketball, it's a different. They try to shut you down. So his assist was up. He had a lot of assists. But he'll be a Hall of Famer, definitely, because he went on to do he's gone on to do greater things as far as business wise.
Awesome. Now, would I say the same to say than your other sports moments outside of the family? Probably the Cowboys when they used to win. And maybe
hey, excuse me, young man. Used to win. I always feel like a winner, baby, even when I'm losing. Even when the Cowboy, we always winners, baby. Hey, we're America's team. Remember that. Y'all can win all the Super Bowls. Y'all, look, Patriots can win all the Super Bowls they want. Who's still America's team? Ask your Siri and ask Siri and ask Google. How about that?
Yeah, God. I won't trust Siri ever again.
It's got to be the comeback. The Lakers coming back the following year. That year y'all beat us and we came back and beat you guys. A year later, 2 years later.
Yeah, you beat you meet the Magic, and then Ray Allen wouldn't stop taking 3-pointers, and
you remember when we whooped up on y'all? Yeah.
Yeah, but I also remember 2008 when we left the Lakers crying on the court after they obliterated them. If KG never gets hurt, Celtics win about 3.
Yeah, I concur. I do. Y'all would have won a couple more.
But I will say that as a fan of the game, I was pretty torn up about Kobe Bryant, and very, there was a saying that said, Boston fans are saying, we didn't think Kobe Bryant could break our hearts one more time, and he did.
That's Kobe, right?
That was truly tragic.
He's a true champion on the floor and off the floor, right? And so gone too soon, man. And I respected Kobe. I mean, everybody has, hiccups along the way because no one's perfect, but he turned out to be a straight guy, man. A really good person, a good father, husband. At the end, he was young in the beginning, like any young kid,
Very
19,
young.
and people still hold that against him, right? And to me, you go through those trials as a young man, but when he became a man, he became a man.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Agree. So, and he did a lot of great things, man. He, especially for the women in basketball, to me, that's heartfelt. And that's true giving back, and to do that, not just because of his own girls, but I've seen other female athletes on different levels talk about how Kobe would encourage them.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Kobe to me is like another Derek Jeter. You hated playing against him, but you respected him.
Yeah.
And
that's how I felt about Larry Bird.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a side note, have you been watching The Last Dance at all? The Bulls
I watched
documentary?
the first. I got to finish that up, Dan, to be honest with you, because I do want to see that, because there were some things told to me that I didn't even know. I never was a Bulls fan because I was still on Magic. I was still Magic and Bird. I was a Laker. I'm an 80s guy. The Bulls didn't come around to the 90s, and by that time it was Jordan and just Jordan. It was just Jordan because I remember Dr. J was fading out and Magic and Bird were coming in, right? So I'm in that era, right? And then you had a couple other people sneak in, like Barkley was sneaking there, Elijah Wan was sneaking there, Ewing, but it was Jordan by himself. You had Bird and Magic. Yeah. You had Dr. J by himself, but then you had all these others, right? And who's there now? LeBron, Steph. There's more than just LeBron. You got Steph. You got KD. You got some contenders. You got what's his name? The big Greek freak.
The guy from the Bucks too. Or is that what's his name?
The Greek freak. That's him.
Yeah.
Some I don't know.
I can't even. I know. Yeah, I know who he is. He's frequently mentioned a lot. It looks like someone hacked his Twitter today saying he wants to go to Golden State.
Oh, really?
See, when me growing up, obviously, I was always like I always liked the Boston teams, but I always had other teams because, the Bulls. When I started watching basketball, it was the Bulls league because I probably started watching when I was like 7 in '91.
Oh God, dude.
I gravitated to Scottie Pippen because everybody loved Jordan, and I was all about Scottie. And oh wow, there you go.
That's James Worthy, baby.
How many? That's pretty sick, actually.
You like that, huh?
Yeah. I mean, he's got the wrong jersey on, but
you got me to show you that so you can say he got the wrong jersey on. Hey,
No,
I respect what the Celtics have done. Believe me, I respect that. But I'm a Laker for life.
Well, you know what? If you're truly a great team, then you usually have a rival, and there's nothing more. When it comes to basketball, that's the best rivalry.
So you guys can't be the best team in football because y'all never had a rival. Who's your rival? The Buffalo Bills,
Jets.
The Jets. Yeah, right. Really? And what have they won?
They won with
Who did y'all clash with? Think about it. We clashed with the Steelers, right? We clashed with the Steelers.
The Colts. I would say it was more like Brady and Manning rivalry because it wasn't just the Colts. When Manning went to the Broncos, we struggled with the Broncos back and forth. Ravens have always been a rival.
Nothing like Dallas and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but that was a lot. I mean, that hasn't been that no one thinks about that anymore.
Yeah. Oh, I can call a rival for you guys, the Giants, because they dropped y'all asses twice, right?
They did, but how many? We went on to win, several more.
All right. You don't want to stay on that, do you? You don't want to stay on that, do you? Okay, I can move on.
I don't want to talk about those Super Bowl losses. They still haunt me to this day.
It's okay, Dan. And many more to come, right? Many more losses will come.
I don't know about that. We'll see.
What's your prediction for the next decade for y'all? Give me a prediction for the next decade.
I think they'll be relevant as long as the team's in the Kraft family, because I really do think that ownership is really important. Now, if you look at the Cowboys, Jerry Jones at some point just lost his mind. But he wasn't always like that.
But you saw The Last Dance, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think? Ownership, right? Go back.
Well, you mean as far as the Bulls
Krause
not being? Well, yeah, he was an idiot. He ran Phil Jackson out of town. I don't see them running Belichick out of town. They didn't really run. Brady's 43 years old. I'm
talking about the Cowboys. I ain't talking about y'all. Y'all are done.
No.
You don't accept it. You're going to accept it like everybody else. Hey, Patriots fan, you better accept it.
I'm not going to believe it until I see it. I'll see. But I think they'll be relevant. I don't know if they're going to be Super Bowl every year, but
right, exactly. Yeah, yes. I mean, that's what I meant. Who they're going to be relevant to? Nobody. They're not going to win a Super Bowl for a while.
That division's always going to be ours. I really, maybe the Bills have gotten better than the Dolphins, but until I see it.
And see, that's how I feel about the Cowboys. How you feel about the Patriots? Because you're always going to feel they're going to win. They're going to pull out a win, right? They're going to pull out a victory. Even when they lose it, y'all still going to call them winners, right?
Yeah,
losers,
but you've just felt like that about how many 25 years, 24 years,
something like that, man. I can't even keep up anymore.
Longer than some of our coworkers have been alive.
Pretty much, yeah. They haven't, even it's been a while.
That brings us into politics. How do you feel about the way the Trump administration is doing? Not since the beginning, just right in this moment today. How do you think that they've been doing?
Just like from the beginning, the same way. Horrible.
Yeah.
I can't. It's to me. It's. You know what? It's not even worth talking about. How about that?
Yeah. All right, fair enough. I don't watch the pressers anymore. They are a waste of time. I mean, they are
right because it's not worth. You and I can talk. It's to me. It's he's too divisive.
Yeah, I agree.
When he brings us together as a country to combat anything, he's too divisive, man. And that's why people can walk down the street and feel that they can shoot an African American today.
Yeah.
and get
I
away with it.
I want leadership. I don't want whatever this is. That's for
Yeah.
damn sure.
I was talking to a coworker, and I'm like, "How do we get back to being president? At least Bush, we didn't agree everything that Bush and Obama said, right? But at least they were presidential.
Yeah. No, I
They held,
agree.
they respected the office. They respected their position. They respected the matter of fact, they respected us, the people,
Hmm.
enough
I
to, you know what I mean?
I had a guest last week, and I agreed with him that Bush lied more to us that had bigger impacts because he could put on that he
Well,
could address, you know, Trump just is like a maniac 24/7.
I
That's
must
just like, you know,
if you got kids, man, and whether they're young, small, you got to watch and see what they're watching. Like this
yeah.
is this is not normal. This behavior, he does things that we teach kids in school. Think about when you were in elementary school. What do they teach you not to do? Call people names,
Yep.
pick on people, bully people.
Yep.
You don't do that. There's laws against bullying.
Just
So to me,
you mean be a human being essentially is what they taught us, you know.
with good, yeah, beat with good moral conduct. What happened to all
Yeah.
that? That's gone out of the window, man. So I just feel they fell in a lot of ways.
No,
Um,
I agree.
if you knew something that was happening that could affect more than 1 million people, wouldn't you do something about it before it becomes blasted out on television?
Well, you'll have his supporters say, "Well, he did this, and he closed this border, and he was being called a racist for wanting to close travel to China." They have a million excuses. I don't really want to hear it anymore. Right now, I guess Trump, and I haven't checked his Twitter today, so if he said something crazy, I don't know about it. So
All I can
in
tell
this
anybody
moment,
that I can tell all my friends who support him, just follow his record.
yeah,
Don't look what he's done today. Look at his whole entire lifespan. Truly,
that's true. That is a big thing that you really need that a lot of people don't really know, like his whole life.
man,
You
look at
know,
that character, man. Look at that cat. He dodged. Man, he coward.
yeah.
Calling McCain a coward for getting captured, dude. That dude didn't even want to serve. Come on, man.
I will say I think Chris Sununu, our governor, has been doing pretty good with this whole thing
I like local
overall.
government. That's why I applaud local government
Yeah,
because
I think
they you know why? Because they in touch with the people.
yeah, yeah.
When you in touch with the people, you got to start listening because you know what I mean. You got to live in the state and govern that state. Those people, you got to listen to those people.
No, I agree that's good. I do like what Sununu's doing. Last question in politics. I don't want to spend too much time. If you were Joe Biden, who would you pick as a running mate?
You brother,
No, yeah, all right. I guess I'm old enough now. I'm 35 on the dot.
hey, you're a
You
true
know.
patriot, right? A true patriot. You know
Yeah,
what? I think Michelle Obama, man.
yeah. That'd be. I mean, yeah. If she wanted, I think that'd be a ticket that could definitely
What?
win.
What? Come on,
Um,
brother. I like that. A ticket that can definitely win. You're right.
but I don't know if Michelle Obama wants that. You
She
know.
probably, if she wins, she probably end up getting president. But anyway,
Hey,
she probably
I'm
get the
fine.
and
I'm
she
fine
probably
with
get the
them.
nomination.
I'd be fine with her back. I'd be fine with the Obamas back in the White House.
You and me
I feel a
both.
little bit. I feel a little bit more normal. You know.
To get things back to normal. Oh my God! You know,
Um,
it's hard for me to say. I would like to see. Be honest, and I would like to see. I would really like to see a female of somebody that's
let's
got
just
a.
plan. Yeah.
I really would like to see a strong uh, female, and then it could be a female with some ethnicity other than Caucasian, because I think people are looking for a change in something. But me personally, I think it needs to be somebody that could respect the office,
Yep.
someone that has enough, backbone to stand up for what is right, but also be able to empathize and um, show compassion toward mankind, right? But also have the mindset to understand what politics is truly about. You got to have some diplomacy in there somewhere. You can't be dictatorship all the time. So you got to be able to listen to people, hear people, and take advice, and not be the one that knows everything. So I just think, I don't know who's out there that's good enough at this point. I know there's a lot of great candidates, but I don't know who's good enough to, other than Michelle, truly, somebody like Michelle could step in, like you said, and people were probably like you and I were like, yeah, let's get her. I'll vote for her.
Yeah.
So I don't know,
Well,
Dan. That's the tough one.
A lot of people, I think, I like that answer. Michelle's never really been a politician, but she's been a first lady. Yeah, I think she'd be. I think that's not a horrible pick at all. That's a really good pick. I think a lot of people, for some reason, despise the Obamas. I'm not going to get into why I think that is right now,
Well,
but
we probably know why.
I mean, we know a good amount of them why. But
Right.
Michelle Obama trying to teach our kids how to eat healthy. Are you serious? My kids can't have cupcakes in school no more. Like,
Oh my gosh. I
oh, what
love
an
it.
evil woman! She's evil.
Teaching them to eat healthy.
I want to drink a bag of sugar right now, and Michelle
Right.
Obama tell me I can't do that. So
Oh my gosh. I love it. I
yeah,
love it.
neither here nor there. But all
Right.
right,
Right.
that brings me to my favorite segment of the show, blank versus blank. So I'm going to give you
Blank.
two things, two words. You got to pick one, and defend your answer why.
Okay.
First one I want to throw at you as a Lakers fan: Kobe Bryant or Magic Johnson?
Magic.
Okay, all right. Didn't even have to think about that, huh?
Who had 5 before? Kobe had 5.
Yeah,
I remember Showtime. I haven't seen the Showtime since the Showtime left.
I saw more Kobe Bryant, so I guess it's an unfair for me to say because I didn't get to grow up really watching Magic.
I grew up
Yeah.
watching Magic. I grew up watching Kobe. Magic did way more Magic than Kobe. Kobe scored a lot of points. Kobe was an amazing athlete. He's probably one of my all-time favorite athletes that can compare with Jordan because he emulated his game after Jordan. And
Yeah.
he had more of an attack mode than LeBron has. Kobe would attack you. I ain't too many players got that attack like Jordan had it. Kobe had it. It's very few players that have that attack mode. But if you ask me for me, I love Magic because I grew up in that era and I knew he was a fierce competitor from coming out of Michigan State. Well, when he played college ball and him and Bird were going at it, to me that shaped the NBA.
Even in college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But him and Bird shaped the NBA. They reshaped the NBA to where people started watching it again and it became a true sport like baseball. Magic and Bird put it on the map, and Magic transcended basketball. Him and Bird together. When I speak of Magic and what he meant, same thing Bird, because they meant that much to the league itself. They redefined basketball where people like Jordan can come in and do what they did, and Kobe and LeBron, all of them come in. But and I'm a passionate. I love Kobe. He's one of my all-time favorites. But Magic is my go-to Laker.
All right, fair enough. Kentucky or New Hampshire?
Man,
These are tough questions. They're not easy.
I'm gonna go. You know, it's not. I'm gonna say New Hampshire.
Okay. Overall, just like the state a little bit better.
I like it because a lot of people believe in what the motto is, right? Live free or die. And another thing is, you guys, you have so much to offer, and I mean that. You have the mountains. You know what I mean? You have the lakes. By golly, you have the ocean.
Yeah.
The winters are longer than what I expect. I mean, what I want. I don't expect to keep. I planted my flowers the other day. Now now they all dead from just other. I planted my own things. Yeah, to me, it's not even it's springtime, but it's not really spring. But I've embraced it. The people up here are warmer than the weather. I can say that. I had an experience during Katrina when I was stationed down in New Orleans. I remember I was stationed in Virginia Beach for 11 years, and I left Virginia and came to Maine in 2001, and then from 2001 up until 2004 when I went down to New Orleans. I came back in 2007, and I was in Maine and New Hampshire, but New England, New Hampshire, Maine, I consider those are the best people in the world up here, just because when I was going through that catastrophic event, I thought I had closer friends in Virginia, but it ended up being closer friends in the Northeast. And they were the ones that called me right away. And I'd known the people in Virginia longer.
Yeah.
And the people up here, I would say, once you get a friend in New England, you get a friend for life.
All right. All right.
If people are just nice down south, I mean, I'm a Southern boy and I can speak from that, but up here, people they're cold as the weather, but once you get warmed up to you, you have a friend for life, man. And I mean that. You guys up here love hard, man. But it's hard to love you.
That's fair enough.
You know what I mean? You love
Um,
hard, but it's hard to love you.
yeah, I like that answer, and yeah, I agree. I'm never leaving the state. It's got everything I want. So between the mountains, which I love, and obviously the beaches
Hey,
and
you've hiked every
everything in
last
between.
one, haven't you?
Every 4,000 footer, yeah. And I mean, I got some others that I want to hit up, but yeah, I finished that like 3 years ago, and
I
I'll
remember.
tell you, that was like, yeah, that was my quest.
Tiny P.
Now I need
Tiny P.
So, all right, next question: basketball or football? You can only watch one for the rest of your life.
Basketball.
I think that makes your kids play it. You played it. That makes
It's
sense.
always, and plus it's always indoor.
Yeah, there you go.
Year round indoor, man.
Obama or Bill Clinton?
Obama.
Yeah, me too. I actually got a little Obama.
Bobble.
Little
Yeah. I need that. I gotta get one of those. That's nice.
They're handing them out at the Monarchs one year during the election.
No way. You only got one?
They handed actually. I think I had a Mitt Romney one at some point because they handed me both. I don't know what happened to that one.
You shook that one off.
I do remember heading to that game, and there was a guy, Oblid Lamonte or something, was running for the Republican running. This is when I was a little bit younger.
Yeah.
I'm more willing, obviously, to hear more stuff from people on the other side. And he said, "Hey, I'm running for governor." I go, "I'm not voting for you. I'm not shaking your hand. See you later." So,
I know you bold. Didn't want to hear the issues or nothing, right,
Oh.
dude? I know. I heard of you. I don't want to vote for you.
When I was in my 20s, it was a lot worse. Like one time, Kelly Ayotte came up, shake my hand. I said, "I know who you are," and I was like, "I don't want anything to do with you." I'm not like that as much anymore.
Because growing up, man, you learn a lot when you grow up, right? Yeah. You learn to live.
But the Cape or your place in Canada, because I know you have a place in Canada that you frequent.
Canada.
I figured I was trying to think of something to compare it to, because I know it's beachfront property, right?
Yeah, both of them. Yeah. It's different, but it's Grand Manan is more of a fishing industry, lobster fishing industry, and it's the quaint, peaceful place in the Northeast, right? You never know it's there. You got to take a ferry 2.5 hour and a half across the Bay of Fundy to get there. But it's just a really you're off the grid. I like it because you're off the grid. There's not a lot of tourists up there, even in the peak seasons, right? I don't like crowded places.
Yep.
The Cape is crowded. You've been down on the weekend in the summer trying to get across those bridges. It's almost like 3 hours just to get across. Man, I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, I like the Cape, but I don't know if you're right. And after this, I'm definitely not going to be around big crowds anymore.
Thank you. Exactly. If you get a chance, man, on us, you can go up there and hang out at the barn. Seriously, I'd love for you to go up there and walk around and check it out. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, let's set up. They love me in Canada. They love the tiny pipes up there.
All right. Well, hey, you get over to New Brunswick, man, and you'll love it over there. I promise you.
Did I ever tell you how they announced my name in Quebec when we go to play in that tournament?
No, what did they say?
Now Bading, Danny Peeps. Danny Peeps.
Danny Peeps.
First time I go into the bat. First time I go up there to hit, I'd never played there before. I didn't even know they put my name in the book that way, and I just start laughing before I step in the batter's box.
Danny Peeps.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, remember when we used to ride the bus together?
Yeah.
Back when we first started meeting, we met one another back early in the day when we were up in grad, up in the annex and stuff. Yeah. When we were back then, I used to call you Tiny P.
Yeah.
And, he's a Tiny Pipes, but I said, Tiny P, what's up with it?
Yeah. And then you say it on the shuttle, and people are like, Tiny P? What is that? I'm like, that's just.
They didn't even know.
Yeah. I think Sherry was like Tiny
P. Yeah, she was like Tiny Pipes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, man. But that's you, man. You Tiny P, bro. Hey, I like it. It fits you. It fits you, man. Especially when you was really a slugger, man. When you were out there doing your thing.
Yeah.
And you had that surgery. Did it slow you down, man?
Yeah, it has. I'm sorry. I'm out trying to. I don't know if I'll ever get back to where I was. or if I really need to do that. But
Hey, you getting older, brother. You don't need to do that.
uh, I'll tell you when it happened. I remember you said, "Yeah, that's torn." I go, "The doctor didn't say no, it's
I
torn."
tore it, Dan. You were like,
Yeah.
dude, what I tell you the way you was holding that sucker?
Well,
Dude,
100%. I didn't want to hear it at the
I know you
time.
didn't. Denial.
Yeah,
Because
there was
you
some
know why?
denial.
Because it was season ending. That's why.
Yeah,
You think you can heal up and go and play. You want to heal up and be like, oh, I just strained it. I can just, heal up in 3 4 weeks. You didn't want to hear the surgery part because you're an athlete and you wanted to
yeah,
play. All you can think about was getting back on the field.
yep. So to the person that took me out in flag football, I owe you one. Yeah, I owe you one.
Nice.
Dak Prescott or Tony Romo?
A Prescott any day, man.
Yeah, Romo didn't do you any favors. Really.
Yeah, I put him in the same category as that owner for the Cowboys.
Emmett Smith or Barry Sanders? Who's the better running back?
Oh man,
This is a tough one.
wow,
I've asked this to a few people.
I've seen. Oh man, Barry was nasty, dude.
Yeah.
Emmett. I think if Barry had stayed a little bit longer, he would have passed Emmett. But
Yeah.
I gotta go with Emmett because he would have starred. But Barry Sanders that dude was a beast to watch.
Yeah. If he could have imagine him on a better team.
Oh man, God, that's a tough one though. Because if he had won some Super Bowls, arguably the greatest running back of all time.
Yeah. I think he retired rather than wanting to keep playing with the Lions. Essentially,
but somebody would have picked him up. A winning team would have picked him up though.
Yeah.
He didn't even. That dude was nasty, dude.
That's a shame. That's a shame there. Troy Aikman or Roger Staubach?
Staubach. Navy man.
How many? Okay. How many? He had a few Super Bowls too, right?
2.
I don't know.
Not
2.
Not 3.
Okay.
But it's the era in which he won them. That era was brutal. You knew that. Look what they wore. Half the helmets were not. I mean, it's just to me that was football. That's what you played in the backyard before you wore pads with your neighborhood kids. That's the football they played back in the day.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Troy. I mean, I grew up watching Troy Aikman. I was too young for. I don't even know if I was born by the time he was retired.
You weren't. Yeah, you weren't. But I watched them both play. I did watch them both play. A lot of my time with Aikman, I was deployed a lot when Dallas was winning. Okay. So out to sea, I was always out to sea in the 90s, dude. So I love I didn't watch because I don't know. It's like, I don't know. You play with what you had back in the day. You don't, it's almost like, it's just like the NBA, right? You stacking up players. Take what you got and make a team out of it. The Celtics did it. The Lakers did it.
Bulls did it.
Yeah.
When you're in the Navy and it's the Super Bowl, it's like it's not even happening kind of situation.
It's just another day, man. We know it's there. I mean, when I was in, a lot of social media wasn't even, when I was deploying, social media wasn't even out there.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? 90s, you didn't have none of this Skype and emails and stuff like that in the early 90s. None of that stuff existed. In my last deployment in 2010, I was boots on ground, so I had Skype capabilities. So you can keep in touch with what's going on. But my prior deployments, all in the 90s, on those ships, when you're out to sea, man, only day you know what it is. Only day you know what day it is Sunday when we hold mass for all the different types of services, right? Religious services. Outside of that, every day you're out there just turning and burning. Flight hours are going, planes are flying off the deck. It's just 5,000 people hustling, bustling, man. So you don't know what team is winning.
Yeah.
Because you know all you worried about is getting some sleep because your 18-hour work days. You hear me? 18-hour work days. That's where you going? Where you going?
Yeah.
That's the mindset. And you don't want to have hours of sitting around because you're gonna drive yourself crazy because you can't go anywhere. So being on a carrier, being in isolation, this is normal, right? I'm 6 months. I'm used to that. 8 months. I'm used to that. I've been on 3 6-month deployments, isolated. So I look at it like a deployment, man. So
the Cowboys win the Super Bowl in the 90s. When's the first time that you even figure out that they had won or something like that?
When we pull into a port.
Okay. And they just kind of get the information from
USOs. You have TVs in the USOs. We had some static television, or somehow they were radio in to the captain, and they would announce it on the microphone. They'll do stuff like that to keep the morale up on the ship. If you had a sports, everybody would they knew leaving port who was winning, and so they
Yeah.
would, we still believed in mail, letter
Yeah.
mail.
Yeah.
So we would get an email saying, "Hey, the Cowboys won," or "Hey," a letter mail saying, "Hey, the Patriots wasn't even around doing it back then." But
Yeah.
um, in the '90s, no, y'all were still losing. It was yeah, y'all had Bledsoe.
Well, we made a Super Bowl. We made one. Lost it, but made it.
Yeah, you lost it. Yeah, but yeah, it was tough, man, because it was almost a week later you heard about it, or a few days later. It wasn't never that instant moment. You saw him win it right away. It was never that.
Yeah, that's got to be. That's tough. That's very tough.
Yeah, and we watched a lot of videos, stuff like that, because there was no cable television out to see.
No, I can imagine.
You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I look back on it, Dan. It was really interesting, man. Yeah, we didn't find out the instant, who won. Yeah, I remember watching '92. I was out to sea watching Duke beat Kentucky when Leitner turned around and shot that shot. And when he shot it, the television went out on the ship. I'm like, oh
no.
man. I'm like, oh, what happened? And he made the damn shot and we lost.
Oh man, you don't want to see my Duke jacket then. I won't wear that around too much.
Oh, dude, I might use that for my car to wash my truck.
Who's a better owner, Jerry Jones or Robert Kraft?
Neither.
I
mean, Robert Kraft. Oh, yo,
yeah.
I thought you did Cross. Oh, no, y'all are good. Well, no. Oh, no. You know what? Yours got caught. Jerry ain't got caught yet.
Well, I'm talking just as a management standpoint.
Come on, yours. Yo, man.
I just wanted to hear you say it. That's all.
Well, you know why? Because he gets players, dude. He don't go out and get the number one. Y'all have never gone out and got the number one anybody, right?
Yeah.
You get people that want to play football. You get guys that went to college, come out of college, just want to play football.
Yeah.
Think about
it. Jerry needs to, like I said, does he have a kid? Is he leaving that team to somebody?
His son.
Oh God! Hopefully he's
just like his dad.
Together.
No, he's just like his dad. He's just like his dad.
Final question. This is always the hardest one in the show. Who's a better athlete, you or your sons?
I had a killer instinct.
So you're the Kobe of the Bell family?
I never quit. I would take on it. I would challenge anybody. I think I was a challenge anybody. I felt that I could beat anybody at any time I got on the court. And awesome. I wouldn't stop playing until I beat your ass. We're gonna play again. Either you're gonna get tired before me, but I can play all day. But I think they were better ball handlers.
Yeah.
I was a better overall athlete because I could play any sport. Baseball, football, I can run track. They could do it too. I don't know. They won more championships than I did. They had a better team chemistry than I did. I had a bunch of me's on the team. Eyes, right?
Now, did you work with them a lot when they were younger?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got videos when they were 2, dribbling the ball when they were 2 and 3 years old. So they've been playing. I coached them. I got pictures of my son and I when I was coaching boys when they were like 6 and 7. But yeah, I started them early. I tell everybody, put a ball in your kid's hand when they 2 years old and let them just get their handle of that rock. Or if this was a baseball, teach them how to throw it. If it's a football, teach them how to throw it and catch. You got to do it early. Don't wait to get 6 and 7 when all their little friends are already doing that, right?
Yeah.
You go down, you see, you got to do that early. So as a parent, if you're going to have kids, man, if they gravitate toward that sport, now my boys, they gravitated towards. I didn't like, they saw me out dribbling, so they just picked it up naturally, right? So if you're doing something, they let them see you doing it. Start it with them early. I wouldn't say start. I mean, it's never too late, but some sports it is too late.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have kids, but my nephew, hopefully, I want him to get into wrestling someday. I don't know if he will, because that's a sport I can coach and I can coach well, and baseball, I guess. But I guess I volunteered to help but obviously there's no season right now. But
He got the
yeah,
frame. Is he got the frame for it? Is he low into? Is he low to the ground? Is he more stocky? Is he more lean and
for
skinny?
wrestling, I don't know what he is yet. Honestly, he's tall. He's very tall. He does play basketball. But
Hey,
wrestling, he,
he don't want to be a wrestler, do he? Being tall. How many wrestlers you know that's tall and skinny? They either big as shit.
yeah, or tiny. You know,
Yeah.
like I was wrestling 119 as a freshman. So, um, but yeah, no, Leonard, I appreciate you coming on the show tonight. This has been a lot of fun. I like that we can razz each other about sports as well.
I love it,
And,
Dan.
and have a good
I love
laugh
it.
about it.
This was
But
nice, man. I love the show, man. You do a great job. I love it. It's fun stuff, man. But serious topics at times, but you know, it is what it is, man. Great show. I love it.
all right, well, we'll have to have you back on when we get in the studio. I'm communicating with them. I haven't. I'm going through all my guests I had booked, and then I'll probably restart it. But I'd love to have you in the studio once that reopens.
I want to be in it before 2020 ends, man.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we're in there by like September or August.
All right, let's we'll keep our fingers crossed. Dan, it's been a pleasure, man. It's fun.
Yeah.
Love it. Love the show, man. This is awesome. Keep it going, brother.
All right, thanks, Leonard. I appreciate you coming on, and everybody keep your heads up. But until next time, continue to let freedom ring.
Ah.